Dr. Pramod Sawant, the Senior Judge, Justice Mahesh Sharat Chandra Sanak, Dr. Peter Weinert, the President of the Commonwealth Lawyers Association, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth Lawyers Association, Sri Baroness Scotland, Srimati Madhavi Diwan, Additional Solicitor General of India, Sri Devidas Pangam, Advocate General of Goa, Sri J.E. Coelho Pereira, President Goa Bar Association, Sri Brian Spears, the former President Commonwealth Lawyers Association, Mr. Brigid Watson, Merrick Woods, the Master of the Ceremony, and all the dignitaries who are here today in the beautiful state of Goa, representing the beautiful countries of the Commonwealth nations and other invited guests. First of all, it is a privilege for me to be part of this very important conference. I know there are esteemed group of speakers who would be deliberating on important subjects in this very intense conference which you have kept here. And I know there will be numerous positive outcomes after the conference. As is practiced in the Commonwealth nations, whenever a minister is invited to speak, he or she comes with a very loaded statement, prepared text, very academic in nature. In any case, this prepared speech of mine would take not less than 1 hour. So I have decided to pick up just few points and make a very quick remarks because the time demands so, and I am also expected to speak for 5 to 7 minutes. As the theme of this conference, Commonwealth Lawyers, Common Challenges in Uncommon Times. Well, every moment seems to be uncommon these days. We are just emerging from the COVID-19 crisis, and you all know how our government, led by the visionary Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi, successfully handled the very complex COVID-19 situation in India, and we have played a leading role in containing this deadly epidemic. Now, I've just gone through some of the topics which you are going to discuss. You are going to touch upon all the myriad of topics which are, of course, very, very relevant in today's time and in the future also. As we all know, Commonwealth is a very diverse association of nations, but it is united by language, history, culture, and the rule of law. The Commonwealth is home to some of the world's oldest and most established legal systems, as well as some of the newest and most innovative ones. I feel proud to share that India, besides being the mother of democracy, holds the distinction of nourishing the oldest judiciary in the world. No other judicial system shares such an ancient and magnificent lineage. The original text of our classical literatures give a vividly dynamic depiction of our ancient legal system. The concept of welfare state is very well enshrined not only in the Constitution of India, but in the constitutions of all the Commonwealth nations. Now, when we talk about many provisions. We have fundamental rights and we have fundamental duties. And in the core of all these provisions is the justice to the people. Now, when we talk about the welfare state and justice as the core for any state, welfare of the people becomes the primacy. And I must inform this August gathering that to provide justice to 1.4 billion people is a huge challenge for us. We may talk about various other things, but if the most deserving common person, the common citizen, do not get the basic needs, the justice remains only a word. Our government has tried from the day one to ensure that all those unreached people are reached. All those left out people are connected. And some of the schemes which our government has launched in last 8.5 years are astonishingly successful. If you see the figures, the success rate, you'll be amazed. The last time when you had gathered in India for the Commonwealth Law Officers Conference, the Lawyers Conference, you might have seen what India was then, and you might have seen the differences, what India is now. If I talk about the figures and the numbers, it will take a long time, but just to give a sense that today, every part of our country, every citizen is a beneficiary of every welfare step taken by the government of India. More than 1/3 of the people are connected with the financial services in last 8.5 years alone. If you see some of the critical policies which you have taken using the technology, the success rate is tremendous. I feel as a welfare state, it is very important that we listen to every individual. Now, our government has been in the forefront in various steps, especially steps leading to creating an ease of living for the common citizens. The policies and programs of our government, especially the decisions on ease of doing business, is very, very successful so far. We believe that the laws are for the people. If the laws become an obstacle for the common people, if the compliances are becoming a burden on the lives of the common people, then we must do away with such provisions. In last 8.5 years, we have already removed 1,486 obsolete and redundant laws. We feel such laws have no place in the statute books. We have taken drastic steps in the ongoing budget session, which will resume on 13th of this month. I'm going to finally push a bill to remove another 65 bills and other provisions which are obsolete, which are redundant. Similarly, we want there should be reduction in the pendency of the cases. It is staggering to see more than 4 crore 90 lakhs. That is 49 million cases pending in various courts of India. It is not easy to reduce the pendency of cases in Indian courts simply because the new coming of cases are double than the cases being disposed of. Indian judges are working extraordinarily hard, but it is becoming more challenging as the day goes by. In normal circumstances, in India, average judge handles 50 to 60 cases a day. Now, we all know, even to decide a case, how much you had to put in efforts. In last few years' time, some of the judges have disposed of more than 200 cases in a day. Now, this is extraordinary. But the pendency of the cases are rising day by day. We are using technology for that. We have started the e-courts special project, phase 3. Our ultimate target is to make Indian judiciary completely paperless. There is no alternative to face the challenges of the rising pendency of the cases. We are also exploring the alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, especially the arbitration and mediation. The mediation bill is pending in the Parliament now, intensely being scrutinized by the Parliamentary Standing Committee. I hope very soon we will be able to push through the mediation bill so that both mediation and arbitration is completely institutionalized in our country, because we are so used to moving in a very ad hoc kind of arbitration and mediation. Now, during this COVID-19, you'll be amazed to see that the Indian courts never stop functioning. That is because of our e-face project 2, which had given our judiciary a proper platform to function in a hybrid mode. Especially in the peak of the COVID time, it was totally online. We were functioning in a virtual mode. Now, as I said in the beginning, there are so many things to share. I am tempted to share with you, but I will just confine myself to few of relevant points which I feel I must share with these great minds coming together from the Commonwealth nations. We talk about democracy, we talk about rule of law. Now, there are some basic fundamentals to all those issues which we discuss day in and day out.